When I was 11 years old, I got my first real guitar, and shortly after that, I had my first guitar lesson. It was a really magical and just amazing experience that I will never forget. I distinctly remember feeling like a whole world had opened up for me, that I could express myself in a way I never could before. And most importantly, learning to play the guitar helped me foster a lifelong love of music, which I'm really grateful for because I don't know where I would be. So today I thought I would teach you some basic parts of the guitar and chords of the guitar and things that musicians in general should know. I know some of you are looking for that outlet to express yourself, or maybe, I don't know, you're just really looking for a fun or easy hobby, or maybe you're just super bored during this quarantine and need something to do. Either way, the guitar has you covered, and it's just a totally easy instrument to learn. So to just cover what we're going to talk about the different parts of the guitar and 4 basic chords that everyone should know. So first we're going to talk about the parts of the guitar. So starting at the very top, we have the headstock, the nut, and the tuning keys. So the nut and the headstock pretty much function to hold the strings in place so they don't slide around or fall out. And the tuning keys are able to change the pitch of each of these strings so they can be in tune. As you get better at music, you could play around with this, and to get in a different key, you can tune your strings up a half step or down a half step. So it just allows you to play with pitch and play all sorts of different songs. Moving to the middle, we have the fretboard and the neck. And the fretboard has these tiny metal markings here, if you can see them. They're called frets, and I would basically compare them to the keys of the piano. They each produce a pitch, which is a musical sound, like this. And these pitches can be, translated into notes on a paper. So moving on to the bottom of the guitar, we have the saddle, the bridge, the sound board, which is this wooden thing I'm touching here, and the sound hole. So the saddle and the bridge basically have the same function as the nut. They're supposed to keep the strings together so they don't slide or fall out. And the sound board and the sound hole are responsible for amplifying the sound or making it louder. So this is unique to acoustic guitars. So moving on to tuning, the important thing you should know is that each of these strings has this very specific pitch and letter name. So starting with the deepest string, we have E2, and then A, D, G, B, and E1, which is an octave higher than the first D, and is the skinny string. So this is what you should hear every time that you tune a guitar to make sure that it's in tune. And there are a couple ways to do that. Obviously, probably the easiest way is an electric tuner, but part of improving as a musician is learning to tune by ear. So a quick trick to do that is playing the octave. So if you can see here, I'm putting my ring finger on the 5th fret here. There we go. And you can see they have the same pitch, and that's how it should be. So by playing the octave and putting my finger here, you can tell that they have the same pitch. And that's just a really quick way to make sure that everything's in tune. So now that we've talked about tuning the guitar and parts of the guitar, we're going to move on to the 4 basic chords that every guitarist should know. So we're going to do the major chords today, which are C, G, F, and D. So to play a C chord, you're going to put your first finger on the 1st fret of the B string, which is the 5th string. It's going to sound like that. Your second finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the D string. And your 3rd finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of the A string. And it's going to sound like this. So moving on to the G string, your third finger is going to be on the third fret of the E string, second fret of the A string, and third fret of the E string. And it's going to sound like this. Then to play an F, you're going to play your first finger, first fret of the E string, first finger, first fret of the B string, and second fret, third finger of the G string. And it's going to sound like this. That's better. So those chords may seem easy, and they may seem kind of, I don't know, tedious or boring at first, but the truth is these are really the building blocks of all music, and you can pretty much play any song on here. So all of those chords fit perfectly into a song called I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, and I'm just going to show you just a little bit of that to demonstrate. So while this may seem boring or tedious, it really is the building blocks and fundamentals of all music. And if you can learn to play these chords, you can learn to play any song. So just to recap what we've talked about today, we covered the basic parts of the guitar and how to tune, as well as 4 chords that every player should know. When I got my first guitar, I honestly had no idea how much I was going to grow, not only as an artist, but as a person. There were times I thought, I could never play this piece or this chord, or, it may have seemed too hard. But the truth is, I persisted, and I became a newer, more confident version of myself that was able to share a part of myself with the world. So honestly, if you're ever thinking of trying this, like any instrument, any musical thing at all, just do it. You'll learn so much, and you'll grow so much as a person. And you have the time too, so it's worth the wait. Thank you.